Your morning blitz begins now.
Happy day after Sonic, everybody. How you doing, Kelly?
Great. How's the voice doing? I'm doing great.
I can feel it. It's a little scratchy. I can feel it back there for sure.
I could hear it in thick, too, when I came in this morning.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
What is happy about the day after Sonic?
Hey.
What's happy about this?
What an absolute amazing weekend. High of 74 today. A few scattered showers, which held off for all of Sonic Temple, which was absolutely amazing. We do have stories abundant, which we will be getting to throughout the morning for sure. A good chance if you're listening right now, you probably didn't stick around for all of Metallica's set. And if you did, I hope you got a giant cup of coffee on you right now.
Text us. If you saw Metallica to the end last night, you're up for work now. Let us know.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I wasn't going to have any sort of cocktail yesterday. And then as the interviews progressed, I was backstage with Ronnie in the media center. And I was like, I'll have a cocktail. But I was very proud of myself because after Chevelle and then we introduced Beartooth, it was like, all right, nope, I'm leaving because if I stick around for Metallica, it's going to be a rough morning for sure.
Yeah, I think we all three left during Beartooth set.
Yes,
a couple songs and that was it.
Yep.
I hated it. I hated to leave.
I know.
Of course, yeah.
Kill me.
But we're grown adults now, and we've got bills to pay, and we got to get to work.
This adulting crap sucks.
I got a message on Instagram, a DM from somebody who really wants to hear how it was with Linkin Park with you. So I hope you have a story about.
I do have a story.
Good.
I do, absolutely.
That was somebody's like, how did Goose do with the interview and the concert? And so.
Yep, we will get to both of our first times crowd surfing.
Yes.
Saturday was legendary.
It was pretty good. We'll get to all of it, but let's begin as we always do. Blitz Morning Trivia. Think what you got.
All right, well, speaking of Sonic Temple, it all started in 2007, back when it was still called Rock on the Range. It was just one day, all day long. And I want to know who the headliner was for the first Rock on the Range.
Okay.
2007. You're the first one to tell us who headlined that day at 99700. Text in the answer. If you're first, we'll give you $25 to go spend at waterbeds and stuff.
All right, that answer for Blitz Morning Trivia is what, Vic?
All right, our question was, going back to the first Sonic Temple, which was called Rock on the Range for most of the years, 2007, who was the headliner for that show? It was only one day. There were two stages, one day, and it became something phenomenal. The headliner was ZZ Top.
Okay.
Can you believe that?
It's really fun.
But it's interesting because when you look at the lineup, and I knew it. I mentioned to Goose yesterday because we interviewed Chevelle, and I said Chevelle's like a staple here. They're here every other year, and I think they were at the very first one, and they were. You had Blackstone Cherry, Puddle of Mud, Papa Roach, Breaking Benjamin, Buck Cherry, 3 Days Grace, Chevelle, Hinder, Velvet Revolver, Evanescence, and then ZZ Top headline.
That's a pretty great one-day concert. That's a good lineup.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
And then the next year they were like, well, this was so great, we got to go to 2 days. And then a few years later we added the third. It was called the Friday Night Pre-Party. It was like 4 bands on a side stage just to have a party, like a beginning thing. And then it became a half of a day on Friday, and then it went to 3 full days, and now 4 full days and 4 stages. It's an animal.
Well, come 2030, we'll have 1 week of Sonic Temple.
Right.
It'll be 7 days.
7 days.
Right.
Just be toast.
Corey Fowler was the first one to text in the correct answer and scored the $25 to waterbeds and stuff.
Awesome. It was a great weekend of music. And speaking of music, a couple stories that took place over the weekend revolving around music itself. David Draymond, of course, of Disturbed, had something big happen at his concert. And here's the deal. They did a show in Sacramento, and a lot of people have done something like this, but for the lead singer of the band to do it is kind of interesting. Take a listen to what happened.
You have made my life so much better. You are the light in the darkness for me. I love you more than anything I have ever loved in this world, and it would be the absolute pinnacle of my life and my existence.
He's getting down on one knee and opening the ring.
In case you didn't hear, she said yes.
Yeah, he proposed on stage to his girlfriend, Sarah. You're giggling over there.
The little
Was
drag.
a little cheesy. A little
It's
cheesy.
David Draymond. I would not expect anything less. That's really nice.
Yeah, it was very nice. And so congratulations to him and Sarah for getting engaged. And then something crazy. This is music history. A dump truck crashed into the Whiskey A Go-Go on Sunset Boulevard in West Hollywood.
It's nuts.
Take a listen to the news story.
Yeah, Juan and Amy, look at all of this mayhem right here as this dump truck came careening out of control down Clark Street into the back of the Whiskey A Go-Go and taking out 6 different cars. As I double in, you can see all of the vehicular carnage here. But incredibly, there were no serious injuries in this. Now, look at how it also took out one of these light poles, a power transformer. It also hit a mail truck, a mail delivery truck right here. And we were told that the mailman out of the vehicle to avoid being hit by this.
Well, they're going to need some repairs.
The vehicular carnage.
Vehicular carnage.
Knocked out the power.
Yeah, knocked out the power in the
Sunset.
area, taking out, like I said, 6 cars and a power light or power pole. So
Legendary
hopefully
club.
they get that repaired because if you're a rock band or even a musician as a whole,
Yeah.
getting yourself through a Whiskey Go-Go is a kind of a step up the ladder as you work in your career.
You're talking about the Doors, Led Zeppelin, Motley Crue. I mean, just legends played that place, man.
Yeah, it's like you hear of all these stories of places like that, the Troubadour,
Roxy.
the Viper Room.
Yeah.
It's absolutely insane. So hopefully they can get that up and going because, I mean, it's obviously going to take repairs.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. They're definitely going to have to...
Again, people driving into businesses. What is going on?
It does seem to be more of a thing now.
I mean, every week.
This is absolutely unbelievable. Yeah. How do you... I would hope that it was a medical incident and not like someone, I don't know, taking it out personally. I mean, were you trying to do a boycott the drink prices out there in L.A.? And
right.
Like, forget this. Bam! So, yeah, hopefully they can get repairs soon. It's going to be a gorgeous day today. High of about 74, although looking for rain. In fact, throughout the week, it looks like... I can't believe the weather for Sonic Temple held out.
It was so perfect.
So perfectly. And now we're going to... might have a few sprinkly showers throughout the day today and tomorrow. 99.7 The Blitz.
Not so breaking news. The news already broke. We're trying to put it back together.
All right. To each their own, I guess, but... I don't even know what I would say if Nora came up and told me this information. As we're in the process of planning a wedding, and I say planning a wedding because we're going to do something, but it's not going to be, let's get the church and get all the invitations sent out, and then find the venue and the reception. It's going to be much smaller than that.
No $20,000.
No, none of that. None of that.
Last week, at a random day, my niece went to the courthouse in Brooklyn with her fiance, and they got married.
Right, yeah.
She had her brother with her, and they're like, we're just doing it this way.
We're probably going to go do it and then just tell everyone where to show up afterwards for a party.
Yeah.
Dude, those are the marriages that last. These people spend $40,000-$50,000 on a wedding. They end up divorced in 3 years. It's ridiculous.
Absolutely ridiculous. Tina Ackles of Killeen, Texas, was married at the Safety Harbor Resort in Tampa on April 18th. She had been with her husband for 12 years, and here's the thing. She's a member of the American Business Women's Association, which she joined in 1999. And over the years, many of her ABWA sisters, as she calls them, said, oh my God, you're getting married. When you get married, I want to be a bridesmaid. Well, that time has finally come, and she said yes to everyone, resulting in 95 bridesmaids.
Okay.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I would have guessed 15. That was what I was going to guess. But no, 95?
95
How do you
bridesmaids.
manage that?
You can't. There's no way. The husband had 8 groomsmen. She had 95
so they kept cycling
women.
through to
I
walk the other
guess.
women down the aisle?
I guess.
That's just...
I guess all the women got together in the little chat group, and they were talking about, where they each bought their dresses and accessories, because I guess for their for their convention, the colors are black and red, so everyone already had a black dress and some red jewelry. So I guess that's kind of the good thing, is she wasn't trying to organize 95 dresses of the same type for people all across the country. But still, I mean, come on.
But do you actually invite yourself to be a bridesmaid? I mean, is that a...
Yeah, I've not heard of that.
Well, she said
you wait till you're
she
asked?
said she got a lot of response. Well, they did. She goes, "Oh my God, I would love to be a bridesmaid."
Okay.
So then she went out and said, "Yes, you're all going to be bridesmaids." That's just absolutely
13 maids
nuts.
of honor? I mean, what?
way too much going on.
Yeah, do they do a bachelorette? Do they do like?
Oh my gosh!
Yeah. Or could you imagine like the introduction to the wedding party?
Oh gosh, yeah,
It's
the
like
poor
graduation.
DJ.
Yeah.
Oh man, I hope they tipped him well.
Unbelievable. Your second story comes out of Australia. This would infuriate me. There is a company called Hancock Prospecting out there in Australia, head up by a woman, Gina Reinhardt. In fact, she is Australia's richest woman. They do a lot of prospecting for gold and things like that. Well, it has come to light that every year, Gina hands out some pretty great bonuses, which is great. It's called the Chairman's Profit Scheme. And so basically, you can get performance, you can get a bonus based on your performance and your time there at the company. And I guess some of these are pretty decent bonuses, which is nice and all. However, there have been some emails that have come to light, not from Gina, but from the higher ups at the company to the people below them. And I'm talking all the way down to the miners who work in the caves. And the email has said, please take the time to think about what these bonuses and benefits mean to you and your family. I know that Miss Reinhardt loves to read all of your messages. Join us in saying thank you to Miss Reinhardt this year. This is a reminder to please submit your message now. It only takes a minute or two. They want the employees digging in the mines to write a thank you letter to the CEO of the company. And they actually take the letters they get and bind them into a book, which is then passed around to other people in the company to show other people showing appreciation for the boss. I would lose my mind.
Yeah, there's nothing it's more sincere than demanding someone thank you.
Right.
I mean, what kind of sincere thank you are you getting from people? It's all forced.
I know that you're down there underground in the most harsh and hazardous conditions, panning and digging for gold. But aren't you lucky you work for me? Aren't you so lucky that I hand out these bonuses every year?
I mean, I'm thinking, if I'm the one shelling out bonuses because people are working so hard to make me a multi-millionaire, I'm thinking I would love to receive thank yous. Honestly, it's nice to be acknowledged, whatever, but I would never, they need to be sincere, come from the heart. If you get one or two, you're like, oh, that was nice of them to take time to say thank you. I don't normally get that.
Okay, possibly, but if I'm the richest person in the country, I'm thanking the people who made me the richest person
I
in the country.
agree with you. That is insane to demand that. It's embarrassing.
I quit this bitch.
Pretty much.
That's embarrassing.
It's your Not So Breaking News, 99.7 The Blitz. I definitely consider myself very fortunate for a lot of reasons, but one of the main reasons is, especially with my lifestyle and my adrenaline adventure-seeking ways, besides cracking 2 ribs while riding a real bull and getting thrown off.
Whoa, I saw the video.
Yeah.
That was crazy, man.
I have never broken a bone. Nothing, no cast. I've never had a cast on before. None of that. You ever broken a bone, Kim?
I have.
You have?
Yeah. I broke I guess this bone right here that connects your thumb to your wrist.
Okay.
Your thumb or wrist bone, whatever. I broke that when I was 12.
How'd you do
on
that?
a diving board.
Oh. Slapped it on the way down?
Yep.
Oh, that'll do it.
Yeah.
Vic, broken a bone?
Yeah, broke my wrist, my left wrist in 3 places. It was like 3rd grade. Slipped and fell on some ice. And just the way my wrist slammed down on the ice when I fell.
Yeah.
And I'm left-handed. So it's crazy. I cast all the way up, to almost to my armpit.
Really?
this
For the wrist?
Yeah, because it was broken in 3 places.
Oh, okay.
So I'd eat with my right hand, started to learn to write with my right hand. And
that would be the worst.
It was real easy to go back once I got that.
Yeah, absolutely. I bring it up because there is a TikToker out there, Sarah's Weird World, and apparently, according to her, she's done a little research. And if you're like me and you've never broken a bone, there are 3 reasons you haven't broken a bone before. Apparently, there is a spiritual reason why people have never broken a bone. That's basically because they are protected by spiritual protection, almost untouchable in a weird sense. Protected by the higher powers.
Okay.
Now I'm offended. Why am I?
She also states good karma. The theory is that these people possess good karma, which they've earned in actions and kind deeds. This protects the individual from coming to any harm.
I don't like that either.
You don't have good karma.
12 years old.
Yeah.
I feel like I was pretty nice.
What did
kid.
you do? What did you do?
I mean, I was kind of mean sometimes, but I also always apologized.
Those years between 6 and 11, you were a real biatch, and then finally
they've caught up with me with a broken bone.
You and your sister, man. I wish I could have seen some of this stuff going on.
And then finally, a theory that's straight from the religious belief of reincarnation, saying past life experiences, which suggests that people who have struggled a lot in the past, this time around, have themselves some good luck in their reincarnated form.
Oh.
Because you've put up with so much in your previous life experiences, so much significant trauma, that we're going to make this lifetime
You're living the good life
a little bit easier.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, like, I would have had
an
an easy past life. So this life, I'm getting broken bones.
A little bit, yeah.
I gotcha.
This one's coming through a little bit rougher than your past. I'm very curious if anyone's not broken a bone this morning. 800-821-9970 or 99-700. You like me? Have you never broken a bone before? Did you know it? Like you just snap and you're like, it's broken.
Yeah, I mean, it swells up and you can't move it if it's broken. It was definitely an issue.
Well, if you fell thick, were you just kind of dangly there?
No, not so much, because, I mean, you got tendons and stuff still hanging it on, but I had to hold it. I just remember I had to hold it, and I just walked in the house, and I said, I think I broke my wrist. I knew it. At 3rd grade. I'm like, I walked in and told my grandparents.
No real, like, super pain or anything like that?
I mean, it hurt a little bit. I thought it would hurt a lot more.
Oh, mine hurt a lot, especially when the people at the doctor at the emergency room was cranking my thumb around and asking me if that hurt.
I bet.
Like, what do you think?
When they said it.
I bet the reset is worse than the break.
Absolutely. I was screaming when they did that. I remember that well. I was screaming.
There's one on the show The Pit where they reset a bone. Yes. You remember that reset?
Yes, I do.
Oh, man. Blitz, good morning. Hi, who's this?
Crystal.
Crystal, have you never broken a bone before?
I'm 40 years old. I have never broken a bone.
Oh, nice.
Okay, that's pretty good. That's a good run. What is? Have you done anything remotely close, or have you just been lucky in terms of medical stuff where you've never really had an issue before?
I guess I've just been lucky. I got stomped on by a horse one time on my foot, and it didn't break.
It didn't break your bone?
Nice.
Okay.
Nope.
Wow. You got some strong toenails up under there. Good for you. Well, thanks for the call, Crystal.
All right,
Thank you.
There's someone with good karma.
Let's see. Mark has never broken a bone before, but he drinks a lot of milk.
I had to my whole life. That was the only break, though, that I ever had.
Well, Tyler texted in, 31 years old, never broke a bone. I chalk it up to 2 to 3 gallons of milk a week.
That's a lot of milk.
That is so much milk. I've got a buddy who, sits down to dinner with, a giant glass of milk. I can't fathom doing that.
No, that is an odd, as an adult, I guess, because as a kid, I guess you're supposed to drink, or at least back in the day, they wanted you to drink milk.
Yeah, they still do.
But as an adult, you don't see a lot of adults drinking milk with dinner.
That seems a little psycho to me. Something needs to be checked out. If you're in the middle of the day, it's 3:30 in the afternoon on a Tuesday, and you walk into the kitchen, go to the cupboard and grab a cup, a pint, and then walk to the fridge, pour a glass of milk, and just drink the glass of milk. You got.
I know you do it thick, Rick.
No, I do
With
not.
Oreos?
Oh yes, I never drink milk just to have
just
it
to drink it.
No,
Gotcha.
With Oreo, if your
a
afternoon
must.
snack is dipping some Oreos,
Yeah.
totally
Gotta have
fine.
milk. Yeah.
I'm saying if you walk into the kitchen
Right.
in the middle of the afternoon and drink a glass of milk,
If you're just thirsty, I gotta have
Yeah,
a glass
gotta
of
have a
milk.
glass
No,
of milk.
I don't do that.
Something's wrong
And
with
you know, regarding the milk, as far as kids and bones and all that stuff, we're talking whole milk, right? That's what you're supposed to drink as a kid. Because like now, I just drink 1%.
Yeah.
Especially if it's whole milk. If you're walking in at 3:30 in the afternoon on a Tuesday and going to get a glass of whole
I
milk,
think it's going to clog your throat
Yeah.
right up. Oh.
Blitz, good morning. Hi, who's this?
What's happening, gentlemen, lady? This is Chris.
Hey,
Chris, what's going on?
So, all right. So I have never broken a bone. I have fractured my second vertebra.
Oh. Okay, that's a little more
Ouch.
serious than a broken bone.
Yeah, that's worse.
Yeah, but I'm all good now. I'm all good.
Good. Glad to hear it.
I've never broken a bone.
I'm glad to hear it, man. Thank you so much for the call.
So wait, but your vertebrae, that's not a bone?
I mean, it is, but I don't know if, like...
Not in the traditional sense.
Right, yeah.
We're not
it's
talking about the main building block of a human body. Just like an appendage bone. Is
Oh,
what
an
we're talking
appendage
about.
bone,
All
yes.
right,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Yeah, breaking a back or a vertebrae, that's a little different
Yeah,
than
okay.
breaking a bone.
Gotcha.
For sure.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, Matt says I've never broken a bone, but I've torn 3 ACLs and have really bad arthritis.
Oh.
I guess there's a...
Darn, there was a trade-off.
Well, Carrie's throwing everyone under the bus saying drinking milk has nothing to do with fracturing a bone.
Oh, we got a picture. Wait,
yeah.
It doesn't?
Well, I mean, I don't know.
Vitamin D or,
Yeah,
or calcium?
calcium.
Calcium.
Yeah,
There
I
you
mean,
go.
it doesn't mean it doesn't help make your bones stronger, but I mean, anybody can break a bone. There's a way to break a bone.
Which is a bunch of BS because that was their biggest marketing ploy forever. Yeah. Grow up big and strong.
Strong
Make your
bones.
bones nice and strong with calcium.
Yeah.
Christopher's broken 35 bones.
What?
Are you evil Knievel?
What are you doing to break all those bones, Christopher? You have to text us back. What about
Yeah,
Sean?
really, are you a stunt man?
Sean says he has 2 plates, 13 screws. Woman ran a stop sign and hit him on a motorcycle, but I am afraid to click on that picture. So somebody else has to do it.
Is this?
I don't want to see it.
Let's
Is
see.
it gross?
Oh, no. It's just
not?
you
Okay.
can see the scar
Oh, okay.
from...
All right.
Yeah, and you're tattooed over it. Was that
I know.
tattoo there before or I think it was before.
Yeah, it was
Before the accident.
Yeah.
No, gotcha.
Erica
I know
says
what to click on the picture.
57, no broken bones, 2% milk drinker.
Okay.
All right.
right.
That's a good run. That is absolutely a good run. 800-821-9970. Would love to hear from you. It's 99.7 The Blitz.
And now, the 3 things you need to know before you go.
The U.S. and China will temporarily lower tariffs on each other's products in a move to cool trade tensions and give the world's 2 largest economies 3 more months to resolve their differences. According to a joint statement released in Geneva, the combined 145% U.S. levies on most Chinese imports will be reduced to 30% by May 14th, and the 125% Chinese duties on U.S. goods will drop to 10%. And I guess that will be in a holding pattern with that for 3 months while they try to work things out.
Well, there you go.
There you go. Netflix is planning to pull its interactive movie selections from the streaming service today. The streamer will remove Black Mirror Bandersnatch and Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, Kimmy versus the Reverend, which is kind of like a choose your own adventure. I don't like those things. I've never done them.
I
Don't
watched
care
the
about 'em.
Black Mirror one.
Was it all right? Or
It was okay, but it's weird. It's so choppy.
What is the interactive?
It's just basically a choose your own adventure. If they stop and they ask you what direction you're going to go, I
Use
think.
your remote, yeah.
use your remote.
What was the old video game you came across where you did that? Where you had to...
Oh, Dragon's Lair.
Dragon's Lair.
Yeah, the 1980s. Like it's not like a video game. It's like a cartoon, and you have to move the joystick at just the right moment. Otherwise, it's the most impossible video game ever made.
But yeah, you have to pick where you're going next. so
Yes.
It's kind of, yeah.
Okay. Well, apparently Netflix is instead going to be focusing on its gaming portfolio. They have that newly redesigned TV homepage, which we talked about last week, and it features more games that you can play on connected televisions with your mobile phone. You use your mobile phone as the game controller.
The game control,
yeah. Have you ever played a game that they have on Netflix?
I have not.
Games?
No. I don't know if any. Yeah, I would like to know if any are any good.
Yeah.
We need more video games.
I bet
we
they're
don't have
pretty
enough video
simple.
games.
They look simple.
Almost like a Flappy Bird where all you're doing is tapping the screen.
Yeah, I kind of figured. That's what I figured.
But they really are pushing that out because that's the first category I have to scroll by is the games.
Right. Right
that's
there.
That's interesting. I don't know anybody who plays them, but I know they are trying to push that. All right, Junior Alvarado, the jockey who rode Sovereignty to victory in the Kentucky Derby last weekend, has been punished for striking the horse too many times with his riding crop. The Horse Racing Integrity and Safety Authority fined Alvarado $62,000 and suspended him for 2 racing days later this month after determining he used his crop 8 times on Sovereignty at Churchill Downs. Under the rules, the limit is 6 times. You're allowed to whack your horse 6 times, not 8.
Really?
So, yeah, Alvarado said last week that his whole goal was to encourage Sovereignty down the stretch, and he just forgot it was a rule. But the interesting thing is that the fine they assess for this type of violation is 10% of the jockey's share of the purse, but it was doubled in his case to $62,000 because this was his second violation within 180 days.
Oh, you cheater.
Yeah, so you knew you just cheated and thought it was worth the money.
I mean,
to win the race.
If you get the win.
Yeah.
If you do the math, let's say you come in third and you win $100,000, or you come in first and win $500,000, but they're going to take $100,000 from you. You're already taking more. Not to mention, you're now the winner of the Kentucky Derby, so your value goes up. So why not, take the fine and take the win?
Sometimes it's worth taking the foul.
I just didn't know that there was a limit. I mean, I'm glad there's a limit. Shouldn't be beating on horses anyways.
Well, yeah, but how about the terminology? I was encouraging the horse.
Encouraging the horse. How does the horse feel about that?
Right. Well, I guess.
Come on, buddy.
That's what it is. If you have to get the horse to pick up speed at the right time, so it's like strategic spankings. It's what I asked for on a Saturday night.
Strategic spanking here or there.
Yeah. I don't know why I just watch it. I just feel like they're just doing that nonstop. I guess, but they're not. I didn't realize. I had no idea. No.
Yeah. All right. Those are your 3 things.
Yeah, we are here. It is a Monday. It's one of those Mondays. I'll tell you that. The Monday after Sonic Temple. Those 4 days were absolutely mind blowing. Lincoln Park there, of course, the headliners on Saturday night. And I'm gonna start off this segment with a PSA real quick.
Okay.
To anyone that has a problem with Emily as the new singer of Lincoln Park, F off. Straight up F off. She is amazing. She killed it. I mean, just like I remember them when I saw them 20 years, they sound just like they do on their album. And man, what a night. A crowd surf for the first time.
I saw that video.
To this song.
Yeah.
To this song, actually. It's up on our socials. It's pretty funny because when I start, I'm actually holding my camera. I kind of broke the rule. You're not supposed to hold your camera while you crowd surf. But I did. I had to. It was my first time. I had to do it.
Well, that's a rule to protect your camera, nothing else.
Right.
So.
Or in case you fall, you want both hands to catch yourself or whatever. But
my niece, every time, she's got that phone out. I'm like, I can't believe she's never lost it. I don't know how.
I'm holding the phone above my head, and it's just not a good angle. You know how they're like, women are always like, take the picture from a higher angle because the camera was below me, and you can just see all the chins. Blah, blah, blah. They were just lined up.
It's funny because, I guess it was just so thick and dense, and there were so many people that, you hardly ever moved where you were you're going to fall. There was one time where you dipped down a little bit, and they brought you right back up. But it was like Kelly talked about. It was like you were just floating on the ocean.
Have you ever seen anyone so chill crowd surfing?
Especially his first time.
It's kind of like you were sort of just laying back and relaxing for a minute.
I looked like an old man who was.
I don't think so.
Crowd surfing.
I think you look like a cool man. Like you'd done it 1,000,000 times.
Right.
And you're like, this is just one of 100 times I've done this weekend.
Yeah, it's like I'm just surfing over all these people. It's nothing. It's
That
no
was a
big
long
deal.
surf,
I
too.
know.
It was a long
That lasted
surf.
a lot. That was
yeah,
great.
it was a good minute and a half surf for sure, but an absolute blast. You got your first surf in, Kelly?
I surfed the last song that Sick Puppies did. You're Going Down, their most famous song. I like that band a lot, and their lead singer was like, I want to see some crowd surfing, and I was like, now's my time. So Thick was there, his son Tyler gave me a quick lesson on what to do, and I said, lift me up, boys. And they got me up in the air, and it was a smooth ride. It was really fun. I did start to lose my drawers for a second. You can see me reach down and pull my pants back up. But
that's impressive to pull your pants up while you're crowd surfing.
Well, it was out of necessity. They were getting ready to go down.
Oh, I got to post that picture of you. We got a still shot of her on. It's just the way her hair's laying back. She's like perfectly straight. It's such a great shot.
It was fun. It really was a fun first time. I did not surf as long as you did. I was a little closer to the stage than you were, but it was just a blast. And the band saw the video too.
That was the best
one.
fun.
They commented on
Because
it.
Kelly got to interview Sick Puppies after surfing today.
Hey,
and they
were you the
saw
one
the
surfing?
Yeah.
I'm like, that was me.
That's pretty great. I got to send out 2 huge thank yous. First and foremost, to the Blitz Nation for coming out and all the people that came up and said hello. And
it was overwhelming. It was incredible. We love you guys so much. It was just a blast to hang out all weekend.
I've said it 1,000 times. We have the best listeners any radio station could ever ask for.
Well, and also personally, having it be my first Sonic Temple. We're about 3.5 months into the show, and the people that came up and talked about us doing the show together and accepted me into Columbus. Yeah. So thank you so much. And then another huge thank you to your son Tyler, Thick. Because my 16-year-old stepson was here for Friday and Saturday, and man, like a hawk coming back and feeding chewed up food into their mouth. He took him under his wing, took Brendan under his wing, got him out. Let me tell you, well, this 16-year-old went nuts. He lost. I don't know what happened to him. He did the mosh pit. He did the crowd surfing. He did the wall of death. He did
the wall of death.
He was front line wall of death.
Wow.
I mean, that's serious.
Wait, what band?
I don't even do the wall of death.
What band did Wall of Death?
I have no idea. Well,
I know
a couple did.
Yeah.
I did it. A couple did. Okay.
Yeah.
But they were
he
going
was
to
there.
some metal.
Next thing you know, that split came with him on the front line.
Yeah.
And it's like, dip your shoulder and run, man. Dip your shoulder and run. And that's what he did. And let me tell you, as a stepfather, for your 16-year-old stepson to end the night after Lincoln Park and go, it's the best day of my life.
Oh!
I almost lost it. I almost lost it. In fact, his exact quote was, it's the best day of my life. This is better than sex, and I haven't had sex yet.
Oh, okay.
Nor and I lost it.
So this is like the third time that this has happened where I handed a teenager over to my son at Sonic Temple, and they didn't come back the same. So you thanking Tyler now, but he's going to want to do this a lot.
Oh, he's
changed for life.
He already invited a friend next year, and I didn't offer tickets or anything. He goes, I'm bringing a friend next year. This is unbelievable. Well, you are?
This is happening.
Yeah.
I remember because we were all standing over there on that side stage, and Tyler asked Brendan, he said, what do you want? I want this as your experience. I want you to have a good time. How far in do you want to go? He goes, I want it all. I want to go all the way. And he goes, all right, let's go. I go take care of him. He goes, I got him.
Yep. He did. He absolutely did.
I know we're going to talk a ton more about this morning, but some of the most fun video I saw, no kidding, was from ICP. Those fans are incredible. What a crowd. And they said it was constant surfing. Constant.
Oh, yeah.
Like to a point where people were like, enough, I want to watch the show. But they were having so much fun there, just singing every single lyric. Those people are hardcore fans.
We'll get into some of the interviews here. We're going to do a little recap coming up just after 8 o'clock. But I do want to tell you about the one moment which you can see on video where I almost blew chunks all over the media tent. Because yesterday afternoon, we interviewed Guar before their set.
Oh,
and it was supposed to be just Balthazar, the lead singer, but they ended up bringing the Balthazar and 2 others. So we had to actually move stuff out of our little media cubicle.
Full costume.
Because they're in
The
full
giant
costume.
costumes.
Yeah, one guy was standing on the couch. That's how tight we were compacted in. So we're doing the interview, and we're talking to Balthazar, and if you don't know, he's got these 2... not prosthetic. They're like Hulk hands. You know, they're big.
Yeah, big gloves.
Big gloves,
Yeah.
if you will. But of course, they're foam rubber and they're huge. And he's talking on the microphone, and he picks up his arm, and so his arm is bent at 90 degrees at his elbow. And I see it on my peripherals, and I turn and look, and it wasn't drip drip. It was like a faucet. The sweat.
Oh, God.
Okay.
It wasn't even clear, was it?
No.
It was so hot, that poor guy, though, too, probably wearing those big, gigantic gloves.
Came pouring
Oh,
out.
When you've got creamy colored sweat, we got. Oh no!
He's sick as
He's
shit.
really.
I'm telling you, oh God, it was so bad. I just stay right.
Would you like to go to break now?
It is really. That is me. I'm having.
And it was like foggy and cream colored.
Whoa.
Okay, everybody in
now
the
I'm
studio
gonna-
but me is about to throw up.
But to think when he's walking, when his hands are down, his fingers have to be sloshing in just a pool.
And the fact that this likely was not this first experience with this because he didn't react at all.
Not
did
at
he?
all.
It was
He
just
didn't-
normal.
That's how I roll.
Oh God, I'll never forget that interview ever in my life. Right, because Ronnie and I were doing it, and I made a face, and then Ronnie saw me make a face, and she looked. It's all on video.
Did
if
you
you
get
watch
any
the
splashback or
Guar.
anything? Did you?
No.
Do you have guar DNA
I
on your on your shorts?
I got guar goo all over me. Oh, but what a weekend. What a weekend.
Very fun.
So thank you again for coming out. Cannot wait to do it again. 99.7 The Blitz. All right, it's a Monday morning. Not only that, it's the Monday morning after Sonic Temple. And so to make sure that I got, well, as much rest as I could last night before starting off this new week after the 4 days we had, took just a little bit of extra gummy last night to help doze off. But as usual, it kind of kicked in before I reached La La Land. So some things started to run through my mind that I wanted to share with you. Some of my gummy thoughts on a Monday morning. Thought about this before I fell asleep last night. Humans are 75% water, which basically makes us cucumbers with anxiety. Oh, we are. If you really boil it down
so
to
true.
the essence,
It's so true.
we are just cucumbers with anxiety. That was it. Yeah. I thought about this. Can Chewbacca even say the word Chewbacca? Did you know how frustrating it would be to not be able to even say your own name?
Right. Poor fella.
Yeah.
Can't even say Wookiee.
They run. No, none of it. Thought about this before falling asleep. How happy were the lobsters on the Titanic?
No kidding. I mean, that's like a reprieve.
They're right. I guarantee those lobsters now have religion. They're like, this is unbelievable.
One of them was heard saying, "See you later, suckers."
Yep. Let's see. I thought about this before falling asleep last night. The night before a day off is more satisfying than the day off itself.
I completely agree. That goes for pre-holidays.
Yep.
The leading up point is so much tastier.
That night, as you're getting ready for bed that night, knowing that you don't have to do anything the next day or go to work,
Best.
even better than the day off itself. I thought about this as I was dozing off last night. Life is really confusing as a child because you just don't know what's going on. And life is really confusing as an adult because you just have no idea what's going on. Like, come on!
We never know what's going on.
Never! I remember being a child. I remember growing up. And you get to like 19, 20, 21, think about your parents and watch as you were growing up and what they had going on. Like, oh, they got it kind of figured out.
Yeah.
And then you get to like where we are in parents' age and you're like, I have no idea what the F is going on right now.
So then your parents were guessing.
Right,
We're all
exactly.
guessing.
Everybody's guessing all the time.
Oh, yeah. And the older you get.
Yeah.
And you're thinking about your parents. You're like, you guys had no clue.
No clue whatsoever. None. Thought about this. Lemons did not exist in nature. In fact, they were farmed into existence by man. Therefore, life has never given any of us lemons. In fact, we gave lemons life.
Yes. That is so true.
Huh.
Yeah.
Think about that.
And finally, the last thing I thought of before you heard the sweet, sweet sound of was the real gauge of a friendship is how clean your house needs to be before they can come over.
Yes.
Because I've got a couple friends in my life, I wouldn't touch a thing.
Right.
And then you got other people, you're down there washing the baseboards before they get over.
Heather'll be like, man, this is not clean. I'm like, you think Joe cares?
Right.
He doesn't give a damn.
Exactly. All right, Nick found this article, and it's kind of interesting. Someone posted a question on Reddit, because, that's what we do nowadays. We take our problems to Reddit to get strangers' opinions on things. But I guess that's what we kind of do on the radio, don't we? Yeah. But it's kind of one of those am I the jerk questions, because this woman wrote in, says, I don't know what to do about a friend of mine who tattooed my name on her wrist. I mean, my full first, middle, and last name. It's absolutely massive and bold. The friend apparently got the ink to celebrate the anonymous woman's birthday. If they had asked me about this, I would have told them absolutely not. And here's the thing. Comments are a little divided. Saying, you can't make someone remove a tattoo. And someone says, sounds like your friend's in love with you. Like, I don't know what I would do if a friend just showed up and was like, hey, look at this. And my name is written on them in permanent ink.
Well, what if even if it was Maverick? What's his name?
Bill?
What if he did that? He just, this summer you saw him. He goes, look what I got, man.
All right. My best friend of 30-some years, that's a little different than from the way I read this article, it's not like your best friend of 30 years. This sounds like someone who is
clinging on.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a situation where she knew if she said something first, the other person wouldn't like it. So she just went ahead and did it, which makes it worse. Yeah. I don't know. The whole thing makes me uncomfortable. I feel like if that happened and I felt that uncomfortable with it, like you got my whole name. This is very weird. And also I'm backing up from the friendship.
Okay, 800-821-9970.
Because it's too intense. That's too intense. I didn't realize this friendship was that intense that we're tattooing each other's full names on our bodies. No, thank you. Like, I can't. I'm married. Like, I have my intense relationship.
Uh-huh.
I don't need a girlfriend.
Yeah. Are you actually kind of breaking up with this person if that happens?
I'm backing up a little.
And are you now expected to do the same in return, especially if you're a person who has tattoos? Now, if you don't have any, I can't imagine. But if you've already got some, are you now expected to get that person's name tattooed?
No.
No, I know, but does this friend expect you to do the same in return?
800-821-9970 or 99700. I mean,
I don't like it. I do not like it.
You're backing up from the microphone. You're so uncomfortable.
Because I want to talk a lot louder, so I don't want to blow people's ears out. I don't like this at all. It is not right or normal.
Is that where you go, thank you?
Like, people,
I don't know.
Listen,
how do you respond?
How many times have people warned each other, don't get your significant other's name tattooed on your body because it's like a death knell for the relationship? Well, guess what? Same thing with friends.
I would never. As someone who has had their fair share of relationships, but am pretty certain I have found the person for the rest of my life, I'm still not getting her name.
Oh, don't you dare.
Tattooed. There's no way.
No.
Although you guys are perfect for each other.
Yes.
By the way, having met Nora finally face to face, you guys are absolutely perfect for each other.
Yeah, and keep it that way. Don't get her tattooed.
No, I agree. I completely agree. Like, we have started a little bit of a trend where, like, when we go on vacation, we'll get, like, a small vacation tattoo, but we get our own thing, something meaningful, but we get our own thing.
Yeah.
I'm not doing names. There's no way I'm doing names. There's no way. So if I won't do her, definitely not doing a friend's name.
Right.
And I agree with you. I would be a little freaked out. Has anyone done this with friends? Got like each other's names? Or did you have like a breakup after your friendship broke up, even though you got the name tattoos?
304 says, stalker alert. Michelle says, can we say stalker?
Oh, yeah. We got a stage 5 clinger for sure.
Yeah.
Mary said, as long as they don't add property of.
Yeah,
That's a good one.
That would be bad. 800-821-9970 or 99700. Have you been in this situation before? Or how are you handling this? Are you breaking up the friendship if someone shows up with your full name tattooed on them, first, middle, and last name? That is strange. We'll get to it coming up here in 3.5 minutes, 99.7 The Blitz. All right, this woman asked a question in the Am I the A-hole section of Reddit saying, I don't know what to do. My friend just got a tattoo of my name on her wrist. Full name, first, middle, and last. It's massive and bold. I did not approve this, and I don't know what to do. If they'd asked me about it, I just said absolutely not. And yes, it is a bit weird. Although Byron texted in and said, if I was this chick, I wouldn't like it, but it's her friend's body and her friend's money, so she can do whatever she wants as far as I'm concerned.
But to me, you're claiming a stake on somebody. You're claiming someone with their name. Maybe I'm seeing it wrong, and I could be. I'm not I don't have any tattoos. But I feel like if you go so far as to, without permission, tattoo somebody's full name on your body, what does that signify, I guess? That's what I'm asking. What does it signify? Because I would feel like...
Would you feel a bit violated, like, if they did that?
I would feel like, what do you think this is here? What do you think this is? Because I don't think I'm in it as seriously as you are.
Right.
Like,
right.
We're friends forever, but maybe not anymore. I don't know.
Shelby, good morning. How are you handling this situation?
Oh, good morning. I would be flattered, but I would definitely feel super awkward about it. I would probably end up getting, like, kind of distant after that. I'd be like, hey, man, I appreciate it. You know, I'm in a committed relationship. Are you in love with me? It's still awkward.
Yeah, I think at that point you got to question, like, the why.
Yeah.
Why did you do this? Because are you in love with me? Or is this, like, you just thought we were that close? Because I have to assume, like I said, I've got the Maverick to my Goose, my best friend from high school, and I've got my buddy Scott, my two best friends. And if they did it, yeah, it would be weird, but I guess I would laugh it off. But anyone other than them, I'm not close enough with you to get my name tattooed on you.
Yeah.
It's one thing to get your mom's full name tattooed on you or something, but like your friend, yeah, I mean, not all friendships last forever.
Yeah,
they do change over time. Like, so, like, that's awkward. I'd be like, God, you didn't ask me first.
Yeah.
Sorry, man. That's
right.
I agree, Shelby. Thank you so much for the call. Hope you have an amazing Monday.
If two friends get together and agree to do it together, that's a whole different thing. And
for sure.
I bet there are people who have done that.
Absolutely.
I could almost guarantee that.
But yeah, you most certainly are not. But here's the thing, though. There's no recourse after it happens. I mean, I have to assume it's going to get thrown out of court if you try and file some papers and just say, like, I don't like that they did this. Yeah, if there's no law against it.
No, I mean, but I do feel like I would be backing off from the friendship because I would think you think that this is at a level that I don't. I don't know at what level you tattoo my name on your body, but you're not my spouse.
Yeah.
So
there's just you can't have that type of just throw it out the window and just be like, I'm going to go do this without asking. Oh my God, the more I think about it, the more I'm getting freaked out because I would be so mad.
Gustavo says, what happened to just spitting on your palms and shaking on it? Like, we're best friends, right? Or remember as a kid, did you used to do the like blood sisters, blood brothers?
Prick your finger
yes.
And do a little boop.
Yeah.
But not a tattoo. No. There's no way. 800-821-9970 or 99700. It's 997 The Blitz. Oh, speaking of tattoos real quick, I got to shout out Jay. Was it Jay who brought it up? Yeah, Jay, who texted in and reminded me of this guy. If you've been on TikTok, you may have seen him. I believe he's a tattoo artist because he is covered in tattoos. I mean, the amount and level of tattoos that would basically only be acceptable by a tattoo artist or like a biker mechanic because it's everywhere. But if people go on his videos and make a mean comment to him about, being a terrible person or you're never going to be accepted in society, whatever the case may be, he then goes to their social media and will find something out about their life. He'll become, one of those social media sleuths and find out something about their life and get a tattoo of them on him.
What?
Like someone had ripped on him and he went to their social media and he's like, oh, sorry about your grandpa who died in a drunk driving accident. And then we'll get a picture of like the guy's face and the great grandpa's face.
What?
Like, he trolls his trolls by getting tattoos of the meanest stuff he can find. It is absolutely crazy.
I gotta see this.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It is absolutely
That's a move.
Find him on TikTok.
Oh my gosh.
To have that audacity and not care. I mean, you are definitely a talking point for sure. But oh man, Blitz. Good morning. Hi, who's this?
Hi, it's Melanie.
What's up, Melanie? How are you this morning?
Good. I actually have my best friend's name tattooed on my arm.
Okay, but did you get permission to do that?
I did not.
Tell us the story.
Well, she's deceased.
Oh, right. Well, you got to start with that.
I'm not laughing at your deceased friend. I'm laughing at Kelly's reaction. Thought there was tea there.
So it's kind of like, people got the barbed wire tattoo around their arm.
Yes.
I have my grandmother, my mother, and my best friend's name around my arm.
That is very nice.
See, that's a great reason to do it. Yeah. Kelly thought you went behind her back and wanted all kinds of tea and did your best friend enjoy it and like it. But no, it's
a memorial.
My mom did not. My mom was
really?
alive when I did it, and she did not.
She didn't like it.
She wasn't a fan.
You can get your mom's name tattooed on you. What's wrong with that?
Mom's like, what do you think this relationship is?
Why didn't she like it?
I wasn't a sailor. She said I wasn't a sailor.
Oh, you shouldn't be getting tattoos at all. That's why she didn't like it. Fair enough. Well, thank you so much for the call. I hope you have a great Monday. It's 997 The Blitz.
And now, 3 things you need to know before you go.
Hamas said early today it will release Israeli-American hostage Eden Alexander today. He is believed to be the last living U.S. citizen held captive in Gaza by the Palestinian militant group. Hamas says the release will be a signal of good faith as part of the steps to being taken to achieve a ceasefire, opening the crossings and allowing aid into the Gaza Strip. Today, President Trump leaves for a 4-day trip to the Middle East and is expected to visit U.S. troops at the airbase in Qatar and will also be in the United Arab Emirates and Saudi Arabia. Opening statements today in the federal sex trafficking trial of Sean Diddy Combs. Prosecutors plan to portray him as the ringleader of a huge criminal conspiracy, a serial abuser who used violence and threats to force women to participate in drug-fueled sexual encounters known as freak-offs. Combs' defense lawyers are expected to reject that, arguing that he is being unjustly persecuted for consensual activities with romantic partners. A jury of 12 has been seated, and they'll begin hearing the case this morning. People taking the obesity drug Zepbound lost nearly 50% more weight than those using Wegovy in the first head-to-head study of these weight loss medications. Clinical trial participants who took Zepbound lost an average of 50 pounds over 72 weeks, while those who took semaglutide or Wegovy lost about 33 pounds. Apparently, Wegovy does target only one type of hormone in the gut and brain, while Zepbound targets 2. And they say that's, it looks like it's very, very effective. But researchers say if you don't need to lose a bunch of weight fast, either one does the same thing.
That's insane. Like, I can't wait until, probably, I don't know, somewhere around Labor Day when the time comes and you report that you take this shot and you just instantly turn inside out. Why? That's a lot.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I sort of like the idea of being able to tackle a problem you've had your whole life finally with success. Like, I really love that people get to have that victory over something that's been difficult. But there's also a question of what does it do to your body long term? I don't think we know yet.
We don't know that either. Yeah.
Yeah.
And are you going to stay on it forever?
Right.
Because, people stop taking it, they gain the weight back.
Oh, do they?
Oh, yeah, that's a big thing.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, you to have assistance to become healthier, get to your personal desired weight with some assistance, great. But then you have to maintain it. You got to make those changes.
Let me ask you this. Does the doctor hang with you until you reach a weight? Like, what if you just start losing more and more and more weight, and then you're like, you've gone too far?
Yeah, like pain pills you can't have anymore?
Yeah, do they say we will not, or are they like... Yeah.
It's going to turn into the Substance, that latest Demi Moore movie where she gets older and she uses this cream and she becomes young and beautiful again. But then at some point she turns into this just like blob because both ages are kind of morphing together.
Oh wow, I got to see that.
It's supposedly a really good movie. I've seen clips and it's supposed to be really, really good.
Yeah, but I just wonder, like, how closely are they monitoring people? Because you can, if you have disordered eating and you're eating too much because you're doing it for the wrong reasons. There's, the psychological, emotional
food addiction's real.
So you've got like a disordered eating. What makes you be healthy all of a sudden, not go the opposite direction?
Well, again, because it's not just about the shot and not just about the weight. You have to tackle the deeper issue. Because some people, it might be a thyroid problem or something out of your control. But then other times, it absolutely can be a mental thing. So you got to make sure that the shot isn't the cure-all. It's just going to help you reach your goals when you also do the other things needed.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's a multi-pronged effort, I would think. But anyway, all right, those are your three things.
I think probably my favorite line of the entire weekend was Nora and I were roaming around and we walked in when Rob Zombie was performing on Friday, and just from the lighting and from the giant screen, he was looking every day of whatever age he was or is currently.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, he's a little bit older. And Nora said, that's not Rob Zombie. That is the zombie of Rob. I'm like, yeah, he's looking at it. But granted, he does do makeup and all that kind of stuff. That's kind of the point.
Yeah, he's trying to look like a zombie.
Look like a zombie.
Yeah.
But yeah, absolutely loved it.
My favorite line came from Nora, but it wasn't that one.
What was it?
It was sloppy thirds.
Oh, okay. So let's tell that story first. I learned something new over the weekend about Nora. After almost 3 years together, new information is still popping up because, of course, as as broadcast throughout the entire week, I was looking forward to Linkin Park. That's the first or the biggest band I wanted to see. My all-time favorite rock band, and I've shared the story before that Nora, before we met, had herself a little fling with Jonah Jackson, who was an NFL player for the Detroit Lions, and found out he actually played here at Ohio State for his senior year.
Your favorite team.
My favorite team.
Lions.
The Lions, absolutely. Found out that not only did she have that little excursion, but she almost had another one because when she was a senior in high school, 17, about to become 18, her father took her to see Linkin Park. And they were pretty close to the stage, and during the performance, Chester sent over a security guard to tap Nora on the shoulder and be like, hey, Chester wants you to come backstage. And her dad put the kibosh on it and stopped the whole thing.
Well, good for Dad. She was a minor.
And Nora goes, yeah, you're pretty much sloppy thirds at this point. Called me sloppy thirds.
I was on the ground. I was laughing. And then she goes, I'm the real comedian now.
Yep. And here's the thing. Her and Brendan were driving home last night, and they actually called her dad. You could find out how the weekend was and so on and so forth. And Brendan, the 16-year-old, goes, hey, Grandpa, so I heard you C-blocked Mom from Chester.
Oh, my gosh.
They're all dying laughing. And Grandpa was like, yeah, I did. And if you ever have a daughter, you'll understand. And her dad is like cool hippie guy.
Yeah.
You know, totally laid back.
Right.
And he goes, I'm down for anything, but I'm not about to send my 17-year-old daughter backstage with a rock band.
I am not sacrificing my child. One thing I have learned is if I want to get backstage, I'm hanging out with Nora. Sounds like she's getting in on all that first level, high level action.
Apparently so.
Yeah.
Also,
I am happily married, by the way, but, hanging out backstage sounds pretty cool.
Nothing wrong with
Goose,
that.
buddy, you outkicked your coverage with her.
Oh, 100%. No doubt. She had people come up to her while we were waiting for Lincoln Park. She was standing there just kind of saving our spot, and someone was wearing a Detroit shirt, and Nora goes, oh, I'm from Detroit, too. Rock on, go Detroit. And they looked at her, and there was 4 women, and one of them goes, are you Bunny? And she goes, yeah. She calls her friends over, and they're like, we're your biggest fans. We're a member of the Bunny fan club.
What?
Yeah.
The Bunny fan club?
Yes. There were Blitz listeners that have heard the stories about her. Like, we love when he talks about you in the story. It was pretty crazy. So.
Great.
Charlie had his own fan club, too.
Yeah.
People were
really
loving
nice.
meeting Charlie.
Yep, that was a blast.
The other story that was really cool is, we had the opportunity to sit down with some bands backstage, which you can see all over our social medias. We posted the videos from the interviews we did throughout the entire weekend, including the interview I did with Mike Shinoda and Colin from Lincoln Park. But yesterday, we got to do one, and Thick got to tell a really cool story. So, why don't you tell us what went down, and I want to tell you the follow-up.
Okay, so we were interviewing Sam from Asking Alexandria, and I asked him about the song Anti-Socialist. I wanted to know when they wrote it, and it was like middle of 2019 because the song dropped in 2020, and to me, that was the best song of 2020 because I was like, there's no way they wrote this. They couldn't have wrote this after the pandemic started because it came out right as the pandemic started, so they couldn't have been thinking about the pandemic when they wrote it, but it was the perfect song for the pandemic, and it became like my mental health song for the pandemic because, we all had those moments during that time where we're like, it just got you so dragged down, and I could put that song on. It just made me feel better.
Yeah.
I told him that, and unfortunately, they weren't going to play it.
They had just changed their set.
Yeah.
Yeah, they said the night before they reworked their set list.
And I told him, I said, oh, that's okay, man. I've listened to it a million times. It's fine. Don't worry about it. And he said, well, maybe if we can work it back in, I will. I'm like, I thought he was just being nice.
He said he was going to mention it to the band and see what could happen.
And so, and that was it. I mean, it was my song in 2020. I thought it was the best song in 2020. It was perfect for the pandemic, and I couldn't get enough of it.
Well, I will tell you this. After their set, we were wrapping up some interviews, and they the whole band, Asking Alexandria, had actually come back to the media area because they had like a coffee bar there for the performance and stuff. And he saw me, and he comes up, and he goes, oh, my God, I am so sorry. I forgot to mention it to the band. We wanted to put it in, but he actually apologized. He goes, tell Thick, I am so sorry.
That was enough for me. That meant the world. That blew me away that he said that.
That was really cool. That was really cool that he came back and said that. So, I mean, could have got yourself a little shout out there.
I didn't think there was any chance they were actually going to do it, but there was. He must have really been thinking about putting it in.
That's better than my little fantasy moment because as we, of course, the highlight for me, sitting down with Mike Shinoda and Colin from Lincoln Park and talking to him and, thanking him for continuing. We all agreed during the interview, there's no replacing a Chester. We all know that.
Right.
But Emily, in her own right, is amazing. She absolutely killed it. I thank them for continuing to make the music that they make. And, it was absolutely unbelievable. And he thanked me for being a fan and so on and so forth. Then during their set, there was a moment where Mike was just kind of talking to the crowd and never mentioned Chester. They're kind of on their forward progression movement, which is fine. But he did thank everyone for supporting the new music and the new album. And when he started talking and he kind of got a little slow in his speech, I was like, oh, my God, he's going to say my name. He's going to call me out. He remembers our interview. He's going to, oh, my God, here it comes. And then they went into a new song, and I was like, little bottom, the tiniest corner of my heart thought he was going to do it, and he didn't. And that tiny little corner broke. There's no way he was ever going to do it for real, but I thought maybe.
In your mind, you're like, what if, though?
What if?
Honestly, I will admit, I thought if there was any chance Asking Alexandria put the song back in, he might just say, hey, Rick from Blitz, here you go, man. didn't think you would really do it, but I did think maybe you will.
And then finally, the last thing I really want to see is, I don't know if any of the Blitz Nation had their phones out at the time, because I haven't seen the video yet, but I want to know, because we had the opportunity to introduce Beartooth. However, we had to do it from backstage. They put us on camera. They put us on the big screens on the main stage, and I want to know just how giant my forehead looked.
Oh, I've got video.
Oh, you got video? I haven't seen it yet.
My brother-in-law Mike sent it to me.
Okay.
Yeah. You can't see any of us.
Yeah, you can.
No, you can only see his head.
No.
Okay. That's the
I fanboyed out over Emma from Sick Puppies. I love her. She's the bass player, obviously incredible. She also plays bass for Evanescence, and they have. She had to scoot out right after their set on Saturday because she's flying to LA
to play a show,
with Evanescence.
Jump on a plane and go play another
it's pretty
show.
cool. But what a nice person! That whole band, every single one of them, they're such
cool.
nice people.
Yep, absolutely. So once again, thank you, Blitz Nation, for coming out. Thank you for all the kind words, for all the people that stopped by the Boombox. We had an absolute blast all weekend. Thank you so much for that. It's 99.7 The Blitz.
Not so breaking news. The news already broke. We're trying to put it back together.
All right, we start this morning with a WTF. What the Florida? Take a trip down to Jacksonville, where a Florida woman was just arrested because she was running her beautician's business out of her broke-down apartment and injecting people with, and I quote, a mysterious mail-order facial filler.
Oh, okay.
She didn't have a medical license. She's running this business inside of her apartment.
How desperate are you to go into that situation willingly?
Not happening.
I'd just rather be ugly with saggy face.
100%.
I'm not, yeah.
The back alley beautician was arrested after a joint investigation, including Homeland Security, that got involved because of, they don't know what she's injecting in people. What is she ordering? It's some mysterious filler.
I'm afraid of filler that they know what it is.
Absolutely.
Like, seeing a needle come toward my face it hasn't happened yet. Now, I may get desperate enough, but it's so far so good. I am afraid of injectables.
I mean, she's got to be the greatest salesperson in the world to convince someone to come to your apartment to inject you with filler. And no one's asking questions as to what is this? And you're like, no, it's good. I got it in the mail. What? Not happening. Speaking of mail, let's take a trip out to Los Angeles, California, where an Amazon driver is probably going to be in a little bit of trouble. Take a listen to this news story out of Los Angeles.
The video footage shows the Amazon delivery driver dropping off a package, then dropping their shorts to leave behind the smelly delivery. According to the homeowner, Amazon's response to the incident was not apologetic. The homeowner also got video footage of a soiled paper towel that was left in a planter just outside the property.
Wiped.
Come on, you can't wipe your ass and then throw it in the potter plant.
Is he going to take it with him?
How about you can't poop on the porch?
That's right.
I mean, can we not even get to that point?
All right, fair. Let's backtrack. Don't poop on someone's porch. I mean, that's dropping off the delivery and then dropping a deuce. Like, you can't do
Double
that.
delivered.
You can't. Why? Why are you angry at this person? Is this the person who orders multiple boxes every day, and you're just so sick of going to their house every single day that out of a feat of frustration? Or was this truly like an emergency? Like the pants are dropping now, or the pants are being filled? One of the two.
Yeah, I'm looking. Doesn't look like this person's like running around.
Right.
It doesn't look like they're like
Are they
crazy
shaking?
desperate, not shaking.
Are they walking with their knees closed? Is their face turning red? Any of the signs that you're about to poop your pants?
All right. Okay. This is on purpose. I mean, this isn't like because she looks, I would too. If I was going to poop in someone's yard, I would be, and I think it's in like in a back area. And it looks like she takes the picture. She's fine and dandy taking the picture of the package, but then she looks around for like security and then crouches down. I don't know if it's she, long hair, so I can only see the back. And drops a deuce right there.
I appreciate the play-by-play of the video, Kelly. Thank you very much.
It just doesn't seem like an emergency situation. It seems like a revenge situation.
If nothing else, Kelly, if this career doesn't work out for you here at the Blitz, you can always move on to be the play-by-play announcer
on
for
YouTube videos.
The Professional Porch Poopers League.
How much does it pay? I'll take it.
The pay is really crappy.
A couple, 3 weeks ago, we had the one Amazon delivery. It was just constantly tons of boxes to the same address, and they finally went off on the Ring camera and just cussing them out. Remember that? Because they were sick of all these deliveries every day to this same house.
But isn't that your job?
I know.
Right. Who cares where you're dropping off deliveries? You're still dropping off deliveries.
This house or another one.
What's worse, though? Amazon driver comes up, puts down the package, and then, let's call it intentionally drops their drawers and poops on your porch. Or you're sitting at a red light in a little road rage incident, and the guy or the person from the car in front of you gets out, walks up to your car, and poops on your hood. Remember that story from last week?
Yeah.
Yeah, then that was not solid either.
No, it was not. It was not.
Yeah, I'll take the more solid of the two options. Easier disposal.
I don't poop on my car before you poop on my porch. I can run that bad boy through a drive-through car wash. Don't go pooping on my porch.
Paper towel in the plant, man. Come on. Get away from my house.
Which is, that must be the most frustrating thing of working for Amazon, because if you worked for UPS, you wouldn't have to wipe at all. It would just all blend naturally in with your outfit.
What can Brown do for you?
That's right. 997 The Blitz. Every so often come across these stories, and you see someone who's done some research, and then you're like, why did we spend money on this? Who funded this? Why did you waste your... we know this answer. Why are we doing this? Well, this was a research study that was published in 2015, and they took it a step further by doing some further tests and found out that food tastes better after you've had a little bit of alcohol running through your system.
Oh.
Duh.
I thought sure you were going to say after smoking weed.
No, that...
We need that study, too.
Right. Basically, they found out they gave these control groups, they started with women. They gave half the women alcohol and half the women saline solution, and afterwards they ate a lunch. The women who had the alcohol prior to eating said their food tasted better.
Probably because they ordered something they wouldn't order if they were sober. When you're sober, you're all like, oh, do I really, maybe I won't get the pasta, because I'm maybe trying to cut a couple pounds or something.
Right.
If you're drinking, you're like, give me the pasta and extra bread.
Absolutely.
That's why it tastes better.
Right.
You're ordering the good stuff.
They did the test with men and gave some men orange juice and gave some men a screwdriver, throwing some vodka in there. And they found out that the men who drank alcohol had increased appetite for high-fat, savory foods. Duh! I can tell you for a fact, Friday, Saturday, and last night, I went through a drive-thru after leaving Sonic Temple.
Yeah.
Oh, did you really?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You want some good, greasy, fatty food.
All right. Yep. I came home and we had Arby's.
Yes! Exactly.
No joke.
Here's a quick question I want to throw out there. 800-821-9970 or 99700. What's your go-to drunk food?
Man.
What's that thing that you go to? You're like, I really need this in my life. Or maybe like a good hangover food, but your drunk hangover food, because man, I will throw down some potato skins if I've got some Captain Diet running through me. I mean, give me a...
Oh, so you're talking about that night. Just that, not in the morning.
Or in the morning, whatever you want. Yeah, or in the morning. Absolutely. Kelly, do you go for some high fatty, saturated fried food?
I would say the thing I go for the most, and I don't drink, but I do I do have some comfort foods, and my comfort food is always cereal.
Okay.
I love cereal, and if I'm really needing a good boost, some good comfort, I'll eat 3-4 bowls.
Okay.
I'm constantly
Hold on,
refilling.
Wait.
Yeah.
What are you refilling 3 or 4 times?
Well, last night, and I only did one bowl of this, but frosted mini wheats, love them. Frosted mini wheats, good.
That doesn't count.
And it fills you
that
up.
That does not count at all.
But listen, I do love Lucky Charms. I'll have like 2 bowls of Lucky Charms, and then I just take the box and pull out the marshmallows.
Now we're talking.
That's what I love to do. Yeah.
What about you, Thick?
Okay, so if it's the night of, well, like after I've been drinking and I'm still in that state, I want double cheeseburgers and french fries from McDonald's.
Yeah.
And if it's the morning after drinking, I want breakfast sandwiches from McDonald's.
Yeah.
Always McDonald's.
McDonald's is for drinking.
I completely agree with you. 100%.
That sounds good right now.
MJ says Taco Bell. I have a feeling that's going to be a pretty famous answer.
Mm-hmm.
I think Taco Bell has built an absolute just cornerstone of their business. In fact, they did. It was the 4th meal. Forever, their marketing campaign was the 4th meal.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah, because they wanted you coming there late night.
All right, Carrie says 5 White Castle sliders with hot sauce and a large, big red pop will cure and or not give you a hangover. Works every time.
Right. So you really just want to scare yourself in the morning when you think you've got bloody poop just running through the toilet. If you're eating 5 White House sliders and a red
White Castle, get it right.
White
They're
Castle.
Wonderful.
I'm not saying they're not wonderful, but you're waking up in the morning with the red dye and that pop. You're depending on how much you drank the night before, you are absolutely scaring yourself.
I hope
the
you
next
remember
morning.
you had the red pop.
That's exactly it. Oh my God! Take me to the hospital right now.
Nick says he goes for a sack of 10 White Castles.
There you go.
Hallie says Waffle House.
Oh,
obviously.
yeah. You give me some 2:30 a.m. Waffle House, not only for the food, but the entertainment.
This show is going to happen, too. Yeah.
Oh, man.
We got BB Bop, the ultimate hangover food. That's, Hallie also said
like
that,
BB
too.
Bop.
I haven't been there yet. I drive by a couple when I go to like
It's good.
the golf course and stuff.
You got to pick the right sauce. That's the thing. You got to pick the right sauce.
I don't know. Did you guys in Michigan, did you have TJ's Country Place restaurants?
No.
Okay, so they had this thing. This was a full service restaurant, like a Bob Evans.
Okay.
Yep. But they had this thing called a Barnyard Buster, and it was biscuits with eggs on the biscuits, and then fried potatoes on the eggs, all covered in sausage gravy.
Right.
The whole thing. It's like $4. It was a massive pile of food, and 2:30 in the morning, dude. Everybody's at TJ's having a Barnyard Buster.
That does sound like something
now
to
they're
end the
all
night
closed.
with.
There's none left, right?
I don't think so. I don't know.
Let's see. Hunter says pizza by the slice. I could go for a little Mikey's late night slice. Yeah, absolutely.
It's in the name.
Tiffany says real homemade French fries in a deep fryer.
Ooh.
What is that? So but I don't know if I want to go home and cut up potatoes.
Oh my God!
When I've had a few drinks.
You just get a bag of French fries and throw them in yeah.
Those aren't real homemade French fries. Though.
Oh, I see what you're saying. She's putting in the work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not looking to cook drunk.
How about cereal? You don't want to pour your own cereal too, like I do.
But cereal's not using like a grater or a sharp-edged knife while
I
after
just
you've
want
been
to see what your
drinking.
limit was in terms of putting in effort.
Or hot oil.
Or hot oil. Well, that's the air fryer.
That's right,
but the cereal I'm making.
Okay.
Yeah, without a doubt.
What's your cereal go-to? Just tell me real quick. Cereal go-to.
Fruity Pebbles.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. 800-821-9970. We now have scientific evidence that food tastes better after you've been drinking. What's your drunk food? What are you going to? 800-821-9970. It's 997 The Blitz. All right, in today's dumbass survey of the day, they found out that food tastes better when you've got some alcohol in your system. Obviously. It's a given. What's your favorite drunk food? Tiffany was the one who texted and said she likes homemade French fries.
Okay.
And we're like, wait a minute. Who wants to come home after a night at the bar operating some sort of slicer or knife, hot oil, either air fryer, whatever, and you're making... But she returned the text when she heard us talking about it. She said, no, my husband pre-makes the fries. See, that's a good idea.
Perfect idea.
That is your future self thanking you.
Yes.
Saying, oh, the fries are ready to be thrown in the air fryer.
By the way, just want to mention there's TJ's on Stringtown Road in Grove City, Parsons Avenue, and West Broad still open. I had no idea.
They're all over the place.
Barnyard Busters for everyone.
You got to have one, Goose. We got to get you one.
I'm not against it. That sounds like a perfect meal. Dave, I don't know about this. After a night of drinking, you're going to come home He says a big slab of bologna with coleslaw on Italian bread.
I'd eat it.
I don't know about that.
I love bologna.
I like real bologna fried. And I need some cheese and purple onions.
What do you mean real bologna? Like not Oscar Mayer?
No, not Oscar Mayer. I'm talking about the real sliced quality bologna.
Isn't that Oscar Mayer?
No, that's processed. No.
What's bologna?
Real bologna's not processed meat? It is.
I'm telling you, you got to get up to there's a couple places.
Oh, up in Waldo, there's a place.
Yeah, there's a place in Waldo. I can't remember the name of that.
You're still
Odie's in or in Hilliard. No. I'm
You're
talking about
still eating lips and buttholes.
Okay, fine.
That's all
but
there is to it.
He likes a thicker slice of lips and buttholes.
I need my butthole a little plumper to get that nice, thick. If it doesn't have 24 spokes in my bologna,
damn it, Kelly!
Then I don't want it. When you throw it in the pan to fry it up, them spokes just get a little bit tighter, and it just get a nice little tight knot in there before I eat my bologna sandwich. Oh God!
The people who know what I'm talking about, you know.
They know.
Okay, I asked AI what the difference between Oscar Mayer bologna and deli bologna is, and they said there's the difference lies in the freshness and slicing.
I'm not talking about deli bologna either.
So the butthole was just cut off that morning. Like, that is a fresh butthole that you are getting.
Oh my God, that is so funny.
Sorry. Okay. Oh, God. Nothing but the best for thick. No. He wants USDA prime butthole when he eats his bologna, and that's all there is to it.
Oh, my God.
No substitutes accepted. Only the best buttholes.
We got multiple texts. GNR Tavern in Waldo, Johnny's Tavern on Trayview, and Odie's in Hilliard. You want a great bologna sandwich.
Yep. Go get.
I've lost my appetite for some reason.
I will say, I don't care whether it's Oscar Mayer, deli, whatever. Fried bologna's better than just bologna.
You need, sure, absolutely. Again, you got to tighten up them spokes. You got. I'll tell you, thing. You retire from radio. You just need to open up 6 fresh buttholes, and it's just the best bologna around. 99.7 The Blitz.
And now, the 3 things you need to know before you go.
President Trump says he will sign an executive order today to cap prescription drug and pharmaceutical prices at the lowest cost offered to any other country. Trump said that the U.S. has been treated unfairly and that healthcare costs will be reduced by what he calls numbers never even thought of before. Well, hey, that's good news. I'll take it. Let's see here. A 52-year-old man was found dead in an enclosure housing kangaroos and wallabies at a family member's farm and petting zoo in Laura, South Carolina, which is about 30 miles north of Myrtle Beach. So this family has all these marsupials and other animals. They invite people in to pet the kangaroos and the wallabies. I don't even know what a wallaby looks like. I need to look that up. And
like a fat little gray thing.
A fat little gray thing? I want to pet one of those. Oh, they're like mini kangaroos.
Yes.
Oh,
that's not what I was thinking of? No.
But it is kind of fat and gray.
But you're right. No, you're right, Goose. But it was just funny.
Big long tail.
That wasn't exactly what I was thinking, though.
Okay.
But I agree, I was somewhat right.
Yeah, so I guess a family member of the farm owners was found dead in this enclosure where there were kangaroos and wallabies, and he was pretty badly beaten up. So, yeah, they're doing an autopsy. They don't have a cause of death yet. But basically what we do know is that if you go to the farm, they encourage people to interact with these animals, to pet and scratch them and feed them and all that. I'm like, I don't know. A kangaroo, I think it's built to fight.
Those things can get jacked.
Yeah.
There's no way. By the way, the reason that I work in radio and don't do anything that requires any real intelligence is I was talking about a koala bear.
Oh, okay. That's
I had to Google it.
hanging from a eucalyptus tree.
I was like, what the hell am I talking about? Oh, yeah, that's a koala.
I still never forget that video of the kangaroo attacking that guy's dog, and he ran out there, and they went up like they
Fist
were in
fight,
a boxing
yeah.
ring, man, and that dude clocked that kangaroo, and he backed away.
There's no way. And I'm wondering, like, maybe I apologize because I was looking up koala. Did you say how he died? Was there a cause of death?
They're doing an autopsy because I guess he had some abrasions.
He was
beaten up pretty
punched,
good.
Yeah, he was punched he got killed by a kangaroo.
And they just introduced a brand new 5-year-old kangaroo.
Kangaroo.
They got kangaroo to the whole situation there at the petting zoo, and they're like, "Hey, come meet what's his name over here? 5-year-old kangaroo. He loves scratches on the neck."
You know, that's what happens.
Let's see where that guy was at the time of death.
That's what happens when the poop hits water just right and it splashes back. That's what I call a kangaroo. You're like, you jump up real fast. And you're like, whoa! Hey. That's little kangaroo right there.
All right, and just quickly, as we all know, because we heard over the weekend, of course, Alice in Chains ended up having to cancel their entire tour. With all festivals, all solo concert dates, and all that because of Sean Kinney, their drummer's medical health issue. They say it's not life-threatening, and they haven't. It's none of my business. But when you tell me you have no further comment, now I want to know. Now I'm hunting down Reddit threads.
What's really going on?
I got to know what's going on with Sean Kinney, and I haven't found anything.
Huh?
But. It's not life-threatening, they say, but it's bad enough to cancel your whole tour. So, did you find something in 2 seconds?
No, because I just Googled it because I had heard it over the weekend that he tore his ACL in his knee.
Oh, did he? Is that what he did?
That's what.
Okay.
It says Alice in Chains is not This was before they actually canceled that show. Said Alice in Chains has not canceled their tour due to Sean Kinney having torn an ACL.
Who said this? Was this like a random Redditor, or is this like an official?
I'm going to, let's see.
Well, while you're researching,
link is to Loudwire.
Real quick shout out to Columbus's own Beartooth for stepping up last night and coming to town.
I mean,
and absolutely killing it. To get the call at 3:30 in the morning on Friday night, Saturday morning. You have to perform Saturday in Nashville.
Yeah.
Make the 6-hour drive on your day off to come perform for the final night of Sonic Temple, and to watch them, because we were backstage. We got to introduce them on the screen, and we were back there as they were getting ready to walk out, and to watch their band's ritual of hyping each other up before they walked out on stage.
It was so cool. They were so ready to get out there.
They were ready to rock.
It was amazing. Yeah, that was great. All right. Well, hey, those are your 3 things.
That was a Friday night song.
Yeah.
Night number 1 of Metallica at Sonic Temple. What was that? What was that end of the show? What did you say?
Oh my gosh. Nothing Else Matters. Sad but true. Battery, Fuel, Seek and Destroy, Master of Puppets.
Man.
Yeah.
It's a good way to wrap up.
Man, we were just talking about Alice in Chains. They had to cancel. My niece is 13. Believe it or not, that is her favorite band.
Okay.
And my sister and the whole family, they got Sunday tickets so she could see her favorite band.
That's so sad.
They did enjoy Beartooth. They had never seen Beartooth. They did. But I just got to give a shout out real quick. Nikki Newland, thank you so much. She saved seats for my sister's family. They were 9 rows off the floor. God bless you, Nikki. I love you. Thank you so much for that.
That's the one thing I had mixed feelings about throughout the weekend was, I get it. You're there. If you've got those stadium GA seats and you've been there all day, that's where you've been sitting.
Yep.
But walking in, before, and I'm pretty sure it was Rob Zombie or Metallica on Friday night, and seeing people sitting with their legs out or coats across 6.
Yeah.
And I was like,
you take turns going.
Yeah, you can't save all those seats though.
Why?
Well, I don't know. I'm whining.
I feel like if somebody stays there with them the whole time, and you trade. Somebody goes out, other people stay, other people go out.
That's true.
You've been there all day. I mean,
all right, you're right. Hey, I want to share this story real quick from KMBC in Lawrence, Kansas, where a man was just arrested and placed into custody because he walked into a Casey's General store and stripped of his clothing and went to the bathroom. He had a dog with him. Now, here's the thing. He wouldn't leave the bathroom, so the employees finally had to call the police. When police arrived, they did find the man naked, and he refused to comply with commands before fighting police officers who tried to arrest him. He was tased twice, but kept going. You know what kind of level you're at when you're tased twice, and you keep going.
Man, I don't know how the body does that. I don't care what level you're at. How?
Yeah.
Man.
That is some potent stuff you were on. But here's the other thing, though. He picked up his dog and bit his dog's neck. He bit his own dog.
Whoa.
Like, what? Why?
I mean,
why?
Is this bath salts? I mean, what?
It sounds like it. Police did suffer. There were several officers that sustained minor injuries. The dog's going to be fine. He was taken to the vet. No problem there. And he will be adopted out to someone else, obviously, because this man is in no condition to take care of anything, including a living animal. And he will be spending some time in jail now. Don't go biting your dog.
Yeah,
that's just rude.
Damn.
God, 99.7 The Blitz.
Now, let's see if we can learn you something. Sit up and pay attention.
Yeah, let's make you a little bit smarter than you were when you woke up this morning. We got to replace some brain cells that you absolutely demolished over Sonic Temple weekend. Did you know that ad time for the series finale of MASH in 1983 actually cost more than the ad time for the Super Bowl that year?
I believe that.
Yeah. It's still one of, if not the most watched recorded
non-Super
show
Bowl
ever. Yeah. Absolutely insane. The first speeding ticket was given out in 1899 in Manhattan. A cab driver was going blazing astonishing 12 miles per hour in an 8-mile-per-hour zone.
Oh, my gosh.
Slow down before you hurt somebody.
Are we bored?
Approximately 2% of people have a gene that makes it so their armpits don't smell even without deodorant. I don't mean to be braggadocious, but I have never, even on the hottest days, the sweatiest days, I'm not a smelly person. I'm very lucky.
I'm not either.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
There are some people you can...
I use deodorant every day. Maybe that's why I don't smell.
For sure.
Have to see what happened if I didn't.
But, yeah, I very rarely have ever had, a stench. The modern iteration of Sudoku was originally invented in 1979, and it was actually called Number Place, and was invented by an American architect by the name of Howard Garnes. But the reason we know it as Sudoku is because it became a mainstream sensation in Japan first, 20 years ago, and then it started making its way over here. So they called it Sudoku, and that's what we know it as now.
And what was the other name? You said Number
Place.
But that wasn't first?
It was. Yes.
Okay.
But the popularity came from Japan, where they called it Sudoku. So as it started to expand from there, it was just called Sudoku. And finally, let's get back to your homework, Thick. I asked you a question. Of the past 20 years, how many number one NFL draft picks have won Super Bowls? The overall number one pick.
So this does not include 2020 or 2004, right?
I would guess not. No.
21. Okay, because that was Eli Manning. I just remember, so I just want to make sure I looked.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
It can't be many. The only one I know for sure is Matthew Stafford. He won a ring with the Rams, and he was
that is the correct answer. Yes.
Outside that, it's probably like a linebacker for the Patriots. The Patriots never had first-round picks. Right? I don't think they did any first-round. Some lineman or linebacker or something for somebody, I'm sure. I would say 3 max, probably 2.
2 is the correct answer, actually.
Okay.
The only other number one NFL draft pick of the past 20 years to win a Super Bowl, Eric Fisher with the Kansas City Chiefs in 2020.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Which is interesting, because if they were going to take this fact, why didn't they say in the past 21 years? Because then it would have been 3, like you said, Eli Manning getting drafted. But yeah, there you go, 2 number one overall draft picks.
Yeah, man. It's the problem is the number one pick usually goes to a crappy team.
Right.
So they don't... It never comes around. So, Stafford had to leave his crappy team.
Well, Jared Goff would be the next one to do it as the number one overall pick.
Oh, he was the number one pick, wasn't he?
Yes.
Might get it this year.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would not be surprised.
Learning you some stuff on a Monday morning, 99.7 The Blitz.